Thank you so very much for joining me. This article was published on November the 30th of 2021 by Tom Winter and Corky Sazamowsko. I put it down in the comments, in the description because I don't want to mess up Corky's name. But this is the first Maxwell accuser says she was groomed to have sex with Epstein and others. The woman, going by the pseudonym Jane, said she was 14 when she was trafficked. The first of four women who say Ghislaine Maxwell groomed them to have sex with Jeffrey Epstein and others took the stand Tuesday and in graphic detail described how she was taught to satisfy a predator. Testifying at Maxwell's trial in New York City and using the pseudonym Jane, the woman said she was 14 eating ice cream at a summer camp for young artists in Michigan when Maxwell, who was walking a Yorkie, and Epstein approached her and struck up a conversation. Soon, Jane said, Maxwell went from acting like a big sister to training her how to massage Epstein. I was frozen in fear, Jane said as she recounted how Epstein sexually abused her in a pool house at his Palm Beach mansion. Later, Jane said she found herself taking part in orgies that included Maxwell and Epstein at the financier's home in Palm Beach, Florida, and New York City, and in his New Mexico ranch. She described the sex when she was asked as kissing, oral sex on each other, oral sex on Jeffrey, and full on intercourse. Jane's voice broke when she described how she wanted to harm herself out of despair. It just kind of seemed hopeless, she said. Not much joy to look forward to. On cross examination, Maxwell defense attorney Laura, okay, Lori Menninger tried to chip away at Jane's credibility by noting that she claimed to have escaped from Epstein in 1999, but didn't tell him. On cross examination, Maxwell defense attorney Laura Menninger tried to chip away at Jane's credibility by noting that she claimed to have escaped from Epstein in 1999, but didn't tell investigators about Maxwell's alleged involvement until Epstein died by suicide a decade later. I don't know. They did despicable things to me, and I didn't want to talk about them, she replied. Jane's often emotional testimony on the second day of Maxwell's trial came after Epstein's longtime pilot, Larry Visosky, testified that he met Jane on one of the flights and remembered her piercing blue eyes. But on cross examination, Visosky, Visosky said he wasn't aware that she was underage and that he didn't know of any minors flying on Epstein's private planes without a parent. She looked like a woman, Vazovsky said. Vazovsky, who told the court he worked for Epstein from 1991 to 2019, said of Jane. Prosecutor, Prosecutors have accused Maxwell, 59, a British socialite, of identifying and targeting vulnerable young women and grooming them for sex with Epstein and other powerful men. Maxwell, who is on trial, is okay, yeah. Maxwell, who is on trial, accused of helping Epstein recruit and abuse Jane and three other underage girls, mostly in the 90s, has denied all accusations and pleaded not guilty to the six charges. Her lawyers contended that prosecutors are going after Maxwell because they can't try Epstein, a convicted sex offender who hung himself in prison 2 years ago after he was awaiting trial over allegations of sex trafficking. Epstein's flight became the focus of intense media scrutiny after it was discovered that former President Bill Clinton, Britain's Prince Andrew, lawyer Alan Dershowitz, and a host of other celebrities took trips on his planes. Virginia Roberts Gauthier, who isn't a part of the case, has alleged in a civil lawsuit that Maxwell trafficked her to Prince Andrew when she was 17. He has denied the allegations. Vazovsky said he Vazovsky said that he met Gruffer as well on one of the flights in the mid 90s and that he had no idea how old she was either. He also said he never witnessed any sex on the planes he piloted to Epstein's numerous luxurious, luxurious homes. I didn't know her age. She didn't look young. He testified she was a woman in my category. Asked about the well known names who flew on the Epstein planes, Vazovsky mentioned Andrew, the former astronaut, and Senator John Glenn, the actors Kevin Spacey and Chris Tucker, violinist Itzhak Perlman, and Donald Trump was a repeat flyer before he became president, and there was more than once. I believe Vazovsky said, certainly remember President Trump, but not anyone else associated with him. Trump, who called Epstein a terrific guy, told reporters in 2019 that he had falling out 15 years earlier and that he is not a fan of his. Vazovsky said he frequently ran into Maxwell and testified that she oversaw Epstein's households. Asked about Maxwell and Epstein's relationship, he said, I thought it was more personal than business. Vazovsky was questioned by Assistant U.S. Attorney Maureen Comey, the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey, who Trump fired in 2017. Maxwell trial is in the Southern District of New York, which started Monday and is expected to take 6 weeks. All right. uh, to me, this trial is going to be uh, a big a big thing. And nowadays, you really don't see much coverage on this case. But there's a lot of people that has a whole lot of pull, a whole lot of well-known people that have been on that plane, and you have a whole lot of CEOs that are now resigning and dropping out. You have a whole lot of things that are now coming to surface. And now we're understanding just how sick these people are and how they get off on preying on the young and the naive and the poor. This shows the nasty side of celebrities and well known and rich people and what they are willing and able to do, not only with each other, but to other people that don't benefit from their actions. Um, this is showing that if you're rich enough, if you're if you're famous enough, if you're well known, you can get whatever you want. And this is including energy exchanges. Um, this is why I believe that most of them not only prey on younger people because they're easy to get, they're naive, they don't understand stuff, they can't just call out for help, and sometimes these children are not missed, or they're supposed to be one place and they're somewhere else. There are a whole lot of people that go missing every year. And for what? For people's sick fantasies, people's willingness to cause pain and hurt on unwilling people, the people that want to take advantage of other people just because. This is a true sad state of affairs where you have the absolute rich people over here stalking you, and then they get you in their clutches no matter which way, whether it was forced or not. These were people that were grown and could basically find anybody to pay well enough to do their sick stuff. But instead, they want the young, they want vibrant bodies because these soulless beings need that energy exchange. And you know why they need it so often? Because it's forced. Because that partner, that other person didn't want to give up that energy exchange. They didn't want to do that. No 14-year-old trying to grab on no old man's body parts. Nobody, no 14-year-old wants to do that. Let's be honest. So yeah, they get that energy, but they're gonna keep needing to revisit it and revisit it and revisit it back over and over again because it wasn't given willingly. It wasn't given with love. It was given with force. I'm glad that this is coming out, and I hope that more comes out. I hope that everybody gets punished for exactly for what they did, and I don't care what name is up there. I don't care whose name is up there. I don't care what song you did, what movie you done. I don't care about none of that. Now, and I'm going to honestly say this. Now, I've heard that Chris Tucker's name was up there quite a few times. I'm not very proud of that, but this was someone that refused to do a movie because of marijuana use. But you got your ass on that plane and did some dirty, disgusting things, I'm pretty sure. But you couldn't do a movie because of marijuana. Like, who does that? But okay, I digress. But I guess the being on that man's plane and doing whatever you were doing wasn't meant to get out. So I guess it's because it was in front of other people. People were just handing you drugs. And it's a whole lot that we're going to find out. It's a whole lot of people that's going to be put to shame. It's a whole lot of people that's going to have a whole lot of answering to do. And I am honest to God here for it.